Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to discuss about pericyclic reactions. We can define a pericyclic reaction from the name itself. That is, a cyclic transition state is formed by the reorganization of electrons at periphery of a substrate. That's why it's called a pericyclic reactions. What are the characteristics of a pericyclic reaction? It is a reversible reaction. All the pericyclic reactions are reversible in nature. And we know that we studied the reaction mechanisms of different types of reactions. All the reactions may either follow ionic mechanism or free radical mechanism. But in the case of pericyclic reactions, it doesn't follow ionic mechanism or free radical mechanism. And normal substrates of a pericyclic reactions are unsaturated compounds like alkenes or alkynes. And all the pericyclic reactions are initiated by either temperature or light, that is thermolysis or photochemical initiation. And the mechanism of a pericyclic reactions are concerted reaction. What do you mean by concerted reaction? Or it is called a one-step reaction, that is both bond breaking and making takes place simultaneously. That is called concerted reaction. And here no intermediates will form, only transition state will form. And transition state are always cyclic in nature. And pericyclic reactions are highly stereospecific. And there is no catalytic and solvent effect in the case of pericyclic reaction. The mechanism of pericyclic reactions are proposed by two famous scientists called Robert Woodward and Robert Hoffman. Both are working at Harvard University by proposing FMO theory, that is Frontier Molecular Orbital theory. They proposed that during this pericyclic reaction, there is conservation of molecular orbital symmetry. This means that the molecular orbitals of the reactants must flow smoothly into the molecular orbitals of the products without any drastic changes in symmetry. That is our principle of conservation of molecular orbital symmetry. In other words, we can say that molecular orbitals in the reactant get transformed into those orbitals in the products, which possess the same symmetry properties with respect to the elements of symmetry preserved in the reaction. That is, electrons in symmetric molecular orbitals of reactants goes to the symmetric molecular orbitals of the products only, not to anti-symmetric molecular orbitals. Similarly, electrons in anti-symmetric molecular orbitals of reactants goes to anti-symmetric molecular orbitals of products. The mechanism will explain later. Next, we have to discuss about different types of pericyclic reactions. There are three important pericyclic reactions. First one is electrocyclic reactions. Second one cycloaddition reactions. And third one sigmatropic rearrangement reactions. Consider electrocyclic reactions. This is an example for electrocyclic reaction. That is butadiene to cyclobutene conversion. Here, in the presence of light or heat, this double bond will shift to this bond, and this bond will shift to this carbon, and we get a cyclized product, that is a 4-membered cyclic ring, and here there is a double bond. So butadiene converted into cyclobutene. This is an example for electrocyclic reaction, that is a ring opening and ring closing reaction. Another example is, this is another substrate. In the presence of heat or light, this double bond will shift to this bond, and this bond will shift to this bond, and this double bond will shift to this carbon. Again we get a cyclized product, that is a 6-membered ring, in which here is a double bond and here is a double bond, and all other double bonds are rearranged. So this is the product, that is triene. Hexatriene will converted into 1,3-cyclohexadiene. Again it is a ring opening ring closing reaction. Here in the first example, the number of electrons participated is 4 electrons. 2 electrons in this double bond and 2 electrons in this double bond. So 4 electrons are participated in this ring closing reaction. So it is a 4n system. 4n system where n equal to 1. Then we get 4n system. That is 4 electrons are participated. 4 pi electrons are participated. And here there is 4n plus 2 system, because the number of electrons participated in this case are 6. 2 plus 2 plus 2. So we get 6 electrons are participated in this reaction. That is, when n equal to 1, we get 4 into 1 plus 2, that is equal to 6. So this is 4n plus 2 system, and this is our 4n system. And we know that all the pericyclic reactions are reversible reactions. And electrocyclic reactions are intramolecular reactions. That is, only one reactant and one product will form. Or electrocyclic reactions can also called isomerization reaction. That is, here olefinic compounds, that is conjugated compounds, undergoes a ring closing to give cyclic alkenes. And what are other observations in electrocyclic reactions? During this reaction, one pi bond is disappears, isn't it? Here 2 pi bonds and the product have only 1 pi bond. So during this reaction, 1 pi bond is disappears, and new sigma bond is formed. This is the new sigma bond, and here this is the new sigma bond. Rest of pi bonds undergoes position change. So these are the characteristics of electrocyclic reaction. Next is cycloaddition reactions. This is an example of cycloaddition reaction. This is ethene and this is ethene. Ethene dimerization. 2 moles of ethene dimerized in the presence of heat or light to form cyclobutane. Here this double bond will shift to this carbon, and this double bond will shift to this carbon, and we get a cyclized product, that is cyclobutane. This addition reaction is known as 2 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction. Why it is called the 2 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction? Here the total number of pi electrons involved in this reaction is 2, and here also number of electrons participated is 2. So it is called a 2 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction. That is ethene dimerization reaction. Another example for cycloaddition reaction is a very famous cycloaddition reaction called Diels-Alder reaction. Diels-Alder reaction. That is a 4 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction. Here this is our diene and this is called dienophile. Diene component and dienophile reacts together to form cyclic product. This double bond will shift to this bond and this bond will shift to this carbon and this double bond will shift to this carbon. We get a cyclic product, a 6-membered cyclic ring, and there is one double bond. That is our cyclohexene will be the product of Diels-Alder reaction. And this is 4 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction. Why it is called 4 plus 2? Here the number of electrons involved in this reaction is 4 and here the number of electrons involved is 2. So it is called a 4 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction. It is a famous Diels-Alder reaction. Both are scientists. It is also called Da reaction. Cycloaddition reaction is intermolecular reaction, whereas electrocyclic reactions are intramolecular reaction, that is reaction within the molecule. Here it is intermolecular reaction and it is addition reaction, that is two olefinic compounds together reacts to form a cyclic product. What are the other observations of cycloaddition reactions? Here two new sigma bonds are formed. These are the two new sigma bonds. And two pi bonds disappears. Here there is no pi bond. And here there is only one pi bond. So two pi bond disappears and two new sigma bonds are formed. The remaining pi bonds will change their position. And all cycloaddition reactions are reversible and highly stereospecific. Next is sigmatropic rearrangement reactions. There are a lot of sigmatropic rearrangement reactions like 1,3 sigmatropic rearrangement, 1,5, 1,7, 2,3 sigmatropic rearrangement reactions, etc. Then what is 1,3 sigmatropic rearrangement? From the name we can say that it is a sigma bond migration reaction. Here this is an alkene and this is X. This X denotes H, hydrogen or carbon, etc. Then if this double bond will shift to this carbon, this heteroatom, X represents any heteroatom, X may be hydrogen or carbon. This heteroatom X will migrate into this carbon and we get a product, that is CH2 double bond CH single bond CH2X. Here X group is migrate towards this carbon. So the X group present at first position migrate into third position. That's why it is called a 1,3 sigmatropic rearrangement reaction. That is a tautomerization reaction. If this X equal to hydrogen, that is called a hydrogen shift. If X equal to CH3, that is called methyl shift. Then another example for sigmatropic rearrangement reaction is 1,5-sigmatropic rearrangement reaction. That is, this is an example for 1,5-sigmatropic rearrangement reactions. Here, this double bond will shift to this bond, and this double bond will shift to this bond, and this X atom will migrate to this carbon, and we get product like this. X group will migrate to this bond, and here this single bond changed into double bond, and this single bond converted into double bond, and this bond will attach with this X atom, either hydrogen or carbon. And this is an example of 1,5-sigmatropic rearrangement reaction. Here, atom present at first position migrate to fifth position. That's why it's called 1,5-sigmatropic rearrangement reaction. Then we can also say that what is 1,7. The first position, heteroatom at first position will migrate to 7th position. That is 1,7-sigmatropic rearrangement reactions. Then another important sigmatropic rearrangement reaction is 3,3-sigmatropic rearrangement reactions. That is, this is an example for 3,3-sigmatropic rearrangement reaction. This double bond will shift to this bond, and this sigma bond migrates to this bond, and this bond shifts to this carbon. We get a product like this. Here is the double bond, and here also double bond, and this single bond breaks, and here a single bond, a sigma bond will form. This is an example for 3,3-sigmatropic rearrangement reaction, or it is called Cope rearrangement reaction. And this is another 3,3-sigmatropic rearrangement reaction, that is called Claisen rearrangement reaction. Here, this carbon CH2 group is replaced by one oxygen atom. Then it is called a Claisen rearrangement reaction. That is a rearrangement of ether into carbonyl compound. This is a carbonyl compound. That is Claisen rearrangement reaction. Why it is called 3,3-sigmatropic? Here a new sigma bond is formed at the junction between 3 carbons. Here this bond 1,1 center breaks and 3 center forms. That's why it is called 3,3-sigmatropic rearrangement reaction. Before enter into the mechanism in detail, we have to discuss about molecular orbitals of different compounds. Here we consider pi molecular orbitals of C4 system. C4 system means the number of carbon atoms present in the compound is 4. That is C4. One of the example is buta 1,3-diene. This is our compound. It has two conjugated pi bonds, and therefore there will be 4 p orbitals combined to yield set of 4 pi molecular orbitals. Then what is the energy diagram of this molecular orbital formation, in which two molecular orbitals are in bonding molecular orbitals, and two molecular orbitals are anti-bonding molecular orbitals. Here the first pi molecular orbital, that is designated as psi1, in which all the symmetries are positive, plus 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 plus. Obviously, there will be minus sign below the lobe, but it is not represented here. Here only I am representing the positive lobe of the molecular orbitals. One side of the orbital only representing. Other side is not representing. Here one side upper face is positive and lower face will be negative symmetry. But here negative symmetry, lower face is not representing. Then another bonding molecular orbital, bonding pi molecular orbital designated as Psi2. Psi2 has more energy than Psi1 and its symmetry is like plus plus minus minus. Obviously there will be plus symmetry below the lobe and here also plus symmetry will be in below the lobe. So here there is the number of nodes will be 1, that is plus minus. So here represents a node and in this molecular orbital there is no node because all the lobes having same symmetry. So there is no node, whereas in this case in Psi2 molecular orbital there is one node present. Then another higher energy molecular orbital designated as Psi3 that belongs to the antibonding molecular orbital having symmetry plus minus minus plus. Here again there will be a node and there is two node, that is this is plus minus, this is a node and this is again a node plus minus, again there is a node. So in Psi3 molecular orbital there will be two nodes. Then another higher molecular orbital called Psi4, it has three nodes, that is this is one node plus minus, again this is one node minus plus, then this is also a node plus minus. Then symmetry is plus minus plus minus. And this is highly energetic molecular orbital that belongs to the anti-bonding molecular orbital. What do you mean by node? That is non-matching symmetry sign represents a node. Here this dashed line represents the nodes. So Psi2 has one node, Psi3 has two nodes, Psi4 has three nodes. We know that buta-1,3-diene has 4 pi electrons. So in the ground state, the 4 pi electrons are arranged according to Aufbau principle and Pauli's exclusion principle. Psi1 occupies 2 electrons and Psi2 occupies 2 electrons. That is in ground state configuration. Whereas in the excited state, one electron present in higher molecular orbital, that is Psi2, will excited to next higher energy state. Then one electron present in Psi2 excited into Psi3. Then in the case of ground state, what is HOMO? HOMO. HOMO means highest occupied molecular orbital. So here in the ground state, highest occupied molecular orbital is Psi2. So in the ground state, Psi2 is HOMO. Then what is LUMO? Lowest unoccupied molecular orbital. That is LUMO. In the case of ground state, LUMO is Psi3. Whereas in the case of excited state, what is HOMO? HOMO will be highest occupied molecular orbital, which is highest occupied. This is occupied, highest occupied molecular orbitals. So Psi3 is HOMO and lowest unoccupied molecular orbital. This is unoccupied molecular orbital and this is lowest unoccupied molecular orbital, that is psi 4. Psi 4 is LUMO in the case of excited state. So here in the ground state, all the thermal reactions are ground state reactions. So in the ground state, HOMO of C4 system is psi 2 and LUMO of C4 system is psi 3. All the photochemical reactions takes place in the excited state. So in the photochemical reactions, in the case of butadiene, HOMO will be psi 3 and LUMO will be psi 4. These two orbitals, that is HOMO and LUMO, collectively called frontier molecular orbitals, that is FMOs. FMOs has great significance while explaining the mechanism of pericyclic reaction. Next is pi molecular orbitals of C2 system. A simple example for C2 system is our ethylene. Here it consists of 2 p orbitals and 2 pi electrons. So these are 2 p orbitals combined together to form 2 set of molecular orbitals. Here one is bonding molecular orbital and another one is anti-bonding molecular orbitals. Bonding molecular orbital is designated as psi 1, anti-bonding molecular orbital designated as psi 2. And what about its symmetry? In bonding molecular orbital psi 1, its symmetry will be plus plus and there is no node. Here this is anti-bonding molecular orbital psi 2, its symmetry will be plus minus and number of nodes will be 1. In the ground state electronic configuration, here only 2 pi electrons, so 2 pi electrons will situated in psi 1 and which is HOMO, which is LUMO. Here in the ground state, highest occupied molecular orbital will be psi 1 and lowest unoccupied molecular orbital will be psi 2. Whereas in the case of excited state, one electron excited into higher energy state, that is psi 2 and which is HOMO. Psi 2 is HOMO in the case of excited state. When we consider two symmetric operations, that is vertical mirror plane and C2 axis of rotation in this molecular orbitals, what will be its nature? For example, this is psi 1. When we operate a vertical mirror plane symmetry to this molecular orbital, it will give symmetric nature of the molecular orbital. That is, here is positive symmetry, here also a positive symmetry. So this molecular orbital will be symmetric with respect to vertical mirror plane, whereas the anti-bonding molecular orbital, that is psi 2 is anti-bonding molecular orbital. This is when we apply vertical mirror plane to this molecular orbital, here positive and here negative. So this is anti-symmetric with respect to vertical mirror plane. Same way, if we operate C2 axis of rotation in psi 1, this is psi 1. C2 axis of rotation means 180 degree rotation of this molecular orbital. When this rotates 180 degree, this plus bond will reaches to this lobe and this plus reaches to this lobe and we get a pi molecular orbital like this. That is, upper lobes will be negative, negative. Lower lobes will be positive, positive. That is, this is anti-symmetric with respect to vertical mirror with respect to C2 axis of rotation, because it gives different symmetry. Whereas in the case of Psi2 molecular orbital, this is our Psi2 molecular orbital plus minus. When it undergoes C2 axis of rotation, what will be the nature of molecular orbital? This plus sign will reaches to this lobe and minus sign reaches to this lobe, which means this will be plus, this will be minus, and this is the resultant molecular orbital after C2 axis of rotation, and this is same as the initial molecular orbital. So Psi2 is symmetric with respect to C2 axis of rotation. So we can write with respect to vertical mirror plane, Psi1 is symmetric, Psi2 is anti-symmetric. And with respect to C2 axis of rotation, Psi1 is anti-symmetric and Psi2 is symmetric. Another system is C6 system. Example for C6 system is 135 hexatriene. Here total number of pi electrons is 6 and total number of p orbitals are 6. Then the 6 atomic orbitals combine together to form 6 set of pi molecular orbitals designated as Psi1, Psi2, Psi3, Psi4, Psi5 and Psi6. What about symmetries of these molecular orbitals? First, Psi1 has plus 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 symmetries and there is no node. In the case of Psi2, here is one node, that is plus minus, one node, plus 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 minus minus minus, that is the symmetry of Psi2. In the case of Psi3, there will be two nodes, that is one is here and one is here. Plus plus minus minus plus plus, that is the Psi3. Then another anti-bonding molecular orbital, that is Psi4. Here will be three nodes. One is here plus minus, here minus plus and here also plus minus. Three nodes are present. Symmetry is like plus minus minus plus plus minus. Another higher orbital is Psi5 and its symmetry is plus minus plus plus minus plus, and there will be four nodes. Here is one node, here is another, here is another node and here is another node. So there will be four nodes. Then highest molecular orbital, that is Psi6, having symmetry plus minus plus minus plus minus, having five nodes. One is here, one is here, another one is here, another one is here, another one is here. So here total number of nodes will be 5. Here we know that there is 6 pi electrons. So in ground state, 6 pi electrons accommodate Psi1, Psi2, Psi3 molecular orbitals, and which will be HOMO. Psi3 will be highest occupied molecular orbital and LUMO will be Psi4. Whereas in the excited state, that is in the presence of light, one electron at Psi3 excited to Psi4 and which will be HOMO. Psi4 will be HOMO and Psi5 will be LUMO. Then according to vertical mirror plane, Psi1 will be symmetric, Psi2 will be anti-symmetric, Psi3 will be symmetric, Psi4 will be anti-symmetric, Psi5 will be symmetric and Psi6 will be anti-symmetric. Then with respect to C2 axis of rotation, psi1 will be anti-symmetric, psi2 will be symmetric, psi3 will be anti-symmetric, psi4 will be symmetric, psi5 will be anti-symmetric and psi6 will be symmetric. From these three molecular orbital diagrams, what are the generalizations about MO diagrams? Psi n MO has n minus 1 nodes. For example, psi 2 molecular orbital has 2 minus 1 nodes, that is, it has 1 node. Then another thing is, as the energy increases, terminal lobes sign relation will alternate between plus plus, plus minus, again plus plus, then plus minus, again plus plus, plus minus. So this relation will alternate in between these lobes. Then another observation is, as the energy increases, the symmetry behavior of molecular orbitals with respect to symmetry elements, vertical mirror plane will be symmetric, anti-symmetric, etc. Then if the molecular orbitals having even number of nodes, they are symmetric with respect to vertical mirror plane. Here we can see that there is 2 nodes, even number of nodes. Then its vertical mirror plane will be symmetric. If the molecular orbitals having odd number of nodes, they are anti-symmetric with respect to vertical mirror plane. Then what about C2 axis of rotation? As the energy increases, the symmetry behavior of pi molecular orbitals with respect to C2 axis will be anti-symmetric, symmetric, etc. And anti-symmetric with respect to C2 axis of rotation if even number of nodes are present, and symmetric with respect to C2 axis of rotation if odd number of nodes are present. That's about molecular orbitals system. This is the basic things about pericyclic reactions. Hope it is clear. Thank you.